Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi to Medium Nur SYAMALIAH Binti NGAH, my ADS553 lecturer, Strategic Management for Public Sector. We are from EM228CF. Before I introduce my group members, our group have decided to choose Royal Malaysian Police RMP as our agency and Cantas for our program. For ADS553, we have been asked to pick 5 members in a group. First is FATIHAH binti HUDDIN 2019-527567. Second is NURELLYA binti NGADIMAN 2019-713333. Third is DINI binti HAIRODIN 2019-591515. Fourth is SYAQIRAH ANISHA binti NORASLI 2019-579011. Fifth is the Muhammad ZEFFRY HAFDZRIN bin Muhammad ZAKI 2019-725771. For the problem statement, first is pornography addiction among teenagers and adults. The pornography addiction usually they have been addicted from they being teenagers. The addiction come from they watching online or surrounding factor without adult supervision. When they want to satisfy their lust and stress, they will do toward the woman because the women are weak to be oppressed. However, they also criminal with under drug influence that push them to do sexual assault. Second is equality of races ethnic. Conflict usually happen among races in Chinese and Indian, which mostly reported in Malaysia. According to Bridge 2020, minority ethnic being controlled and take place by other dominant ethnic and criminal to take over full of the area. Majority of Malay people that inhabiting that place make a period, but gangster in Chinese and Indian will make an operations which because there is no place for them in this country, which this is declared as a crime, but crime in races. Third is unstable unemployment. Decrease of job opportunities will increase the unemployment. People will not have money to buy their need and afford their family financials and educations. They will use shortcut ways to earn money through illegal activity. In combating this crime, Cantas program have been established to eradicate this serious problem. Cantas is established under Royal Malaysia Police RMP's agency. Cantas have been established since crime in Malaysia is increasing. There are various types of Cantas program that RMP fit with the crime to deal with. Cantas Sinekura, Cantas Women, Cantas Khas, Cantas Silver and Cantas are under the main Cantas program, which each program consists of associations such as Special Task Force on Organised Crimes, STAFORD, Special Task Force for Anti-Vice, Gambling and Gangsterism, STAGG, and Strike Team Investigative Narcotic Group, STING. In eradicating the crime, challenge to the RMP become more complex as this crime involve VIP and races. The program goal is to lighten the number of the crime and also to provide safety to the public. Decrease of crime will provide job opportunities and increase national economy.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Dini binti HAIRODIN and I would like to continue on the background of this program. What is Cantas? Cantas is Section 3 Clause 3 of the Police Act 1967 that say that the police have a responsibility and a job to keep people safe. This is called Cantas. The main goal is to find the former prisoner who have involved in criminal activities. This criminal investigation department CID has begun crime prevention operation by forming a special team known as Cantas Khas, which is led by ACP Kamarul Zaman Mahmad. Assistant Director of Detention or blockade D7B Criminal Investigation Department and support by Superintendent. Op Chantas run if a person found in Op Chantas will be held for 24 hours under the Crime Prevention Act. If more time is needed to do more research, the suspect will be remanded after a judge signs off it. Crime prevention is done in two ways, before the crime and after the crime. Next is stakeholder and shareholder of the program. The first one is Polydiraja Malaysia, PDRM, Gambling Vice, and Gangsterism SDAGG, Special Action Team for Organized Crime, STFFOC, and Special Tactical Narcotic Intelligence Team, STING. The Royal Malaysia Police PDRM has brought together the most elite unit to fight gangs and assassins in the country. This is called Op Chantas Khas 2. Deputy Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Rashid Ibrahim said that Special Action Team for Gambling Vice and Gangsterism, Special Action Team for Organized Crime, and Special Tactical Narcotic Intelligence Teams would be mobilized soon after detailed planning was carried out. A lot of shooting happens in this country this year, and PDRM very concerned about how to deal with this issue. They decide to merge because they want to make sure this doesn't happen again. Op Chantas Khas will be even better than the first one. When we fix all the flaws and improve our ability to fight then clandestine group.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZEFFRY. So today I will present about the social problem that require immediate action from the responsible agency. So for the first problem is secret society. This is a very serious issue in our country. This is because this crime threatens the safety of the people in our country. Gangs are criminal organizations that are not registered with authority. Gangs are typically involved in illegal activity, such as using illegal means to finance their operation. The main activity of this group are usually drug dealing, robbery, illegal check, illegal gambling, and prostitution. According to the Section 5, Subcolumn 1 of the Societies Act 1966, the Honourable Minister of Home Affairs had declared that 23 secret societies in Malaysia are illegal organizations. Why they join this organization? This is because poverty. Poverty is one of the main reasons for the formation of this clandestine group. More and more young people are encouraged to join this organization because they believe they have no other option for making a living. Next, the criminal problem that the authorities need to take immediate action on is the crime of gangsterism. Gangsterism is defined as behavior that violates rule and law or is unacceptable in society. Among the cases of violence that occur were theft, extortion of jewelry or money, abusive language and intimidation, as well as beating the public. The factors that contribute to the occurrence of this issue of gangsterism are the influence of the mass media, the individual himself to determine the underlying cause of gangsterism, which is low self-esteem, the failure of parents to provide guidance and attention to their children, and peer influence. Teenagers are the most vulnerable to gangsterism because they are exposed to environmental conditions that allow them to have fun in their group. The last point is drug syndicate, because it poses a significant threat to a country's peace, economic growth and security. Drug abuse has become a global issue. Most Southeast Asian countries have begun to regard drug as a country's main enemy, rather than just a social issue. The negative consequences of drug addiction affect not only the individual involved, but also the family, society, and the country. The key point to remember is that every drug-related problem stems from the activities of drug trafficker. Drug distribution and sale activity are more dangerous than drug-addicted crimes. This is because it involves the sale of things that the government has prohibited, and any problem arising from drug transaction cannot be reported to authorities. If the authorities manage to crack down on drug traffickers indirectly, we can reduce the number of individuals who addicted to the drug. Now I'm going to present about the related ministry, department, agency or statutory body that have the authority in solving the problem. The first point is the Ministry of Home Affairs, Kementerian Dalam Negeri. Ministry of the Government of Malaysia that is responsible for home affairs, law enforcement, public security, public order, management of society, anti-drug, film control, rehabilitation and implementation of punishment. Deputy Home Minister Datuk Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar officiated the community's joint crime prevention program on the effort made and being made by the Royal Malaysian Police (PDRM) in combating rising crime because of the team's achieving an effectiveness. Cantas was launched by the police to combat organised crime committed by gangsters and gangs. The Home Ministry KDN declared that 49 gangs illegal and the arrests demonstrate the effectiveness of the ministry action. All parties must work together to combat the crime. It is fitting that we all work together to combat the crime in our country. The second point is the National Film Development Corporation Malaysia (FINAS). To reduce the problem of gangsterism, the government must play an important role in combating gangsterism. Strict action must be taken to put a stop to its activity. The government can take radical steps by gradually reducing the broadcasting of violent and criminal films. The National Film Development Corporation Malaysia (FINAS) must censor or prohibit violent and pornography film and entertainment. This is since currently of advance of technology, teenagers are more easily influenced by what they see on social media or in movie. Strict law enforced by the government will able to make teenagers aware of the danger in participating in gangsterism activities. For the last point is the National Anti-Drug Agency. This agency was established on February in 1996. The National Drug Agency (ADK) was established by combining the Anti-Drug Task Force (PPAD) and the Treatment and Rehabilitation Division under the Ministry of Home Affairs. To eradicate drug smuggling and abuse in our country, the Royal Malaysian Police must cooperate with the National Anti-Drug Agency. This is because the Royal Malaysian Police (PDRM) has discovered an increase in drug smuggling at the country's border. For example, the Royal Malaysian Police and the National Anti-Drug Agency are collaborating to conduct a special screening of tapis a month in all contingents to combat the drug trade more effectively. And another achievement, police continue to crack down on drug abuse and distribution activities with arrest of 2 men, including the seizure of several types of drug worth 22,000 ringgit in Cantas.
Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURELLYA and I will continue with the SWOT analysis and strategic choice of the program. A SWOT analysis is the compilation of the organization that consists of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The primary of SWOT investigation is to assess organization, create a full mindfulness of all factors involved in making a trade choice. Besides that, we also need to perform a SWOT examination, sometimes recently, to commit any sort of organization activities. First, the Royal Malaysian Force (RMF) was an intensive unit where each unit specialized in their own capability. For examples, in this situation, we can see that they have their own department or the ability to handle the issue. In Malaysia, we have the traffic police, for instance. Next, RMF also provide promotion for the police officer to increase their current rank to the highest level salaries and benefits. For examples, they have an increased wages or even the promotions if they have a good attitude or even successful in handling a big issue or cases. Moreover, police also have training to gain their knowledge and skills as they are mandatory trained in the training center, which is Pulapol, and the training itself they need to undergo test performance for measuring height and weight, for instance. Next, for weaknesses, in RMF, the manpower shortage where RMF need at least 16,000 new positions to satisfy the Narcotic Criminal Investigation Department. Other than that, the article also is very important things in the organizations even you are not an officer. In this RMF also, the article behavior was caught among police officers during working. For example, almost 116 officers policemen include injury food offense. Besides, the misconduct and abuse of power among police officers also happened in this organization. Lately, a sharing almost the senior official spread through a Facebook page claiming that the official was the most offender of betting syndicates, smuggling, and pickpocket. Next, I will continue with opportunities. Royal Malaysian Force always consists of new technology or equipment to improve the strength of PDRM. The PDRM is as and now examining facial acknowledgement innovations that will be utilized as a device in battling wrongdoing all through the nations. At the same time, this innovation also will help us particularly with the battles against wrongdoing. RMF also receive assistance from other body of authorities during the performance of duties. The body that involved such as ARELA have been making a difference the police to reserve activities although the 14th general election. The Cantas also create cooperation with the police and the public which will improve their trust. Lastly, for the threat, the crime become more complex and sophisticated. Nowadays, the crime is more aggressive and have their own tactic to avoiding being erased by the police. It can be seen on smugglers using advanced technology to break through national borders such as drones. Royal Malaysian Force also was get threat from foreign entities and countries and the border security as illegal immigrant trespassing on Malaysia borders. In every year, our countries also get increasing of foreign workers either lawfully or wrongfully due to the country's planning economy. Most of the foreigners come from Indonesia, Myanmar, Philippines, Bangladesh. For the program, which is on Osborne and Plastric, Telopre is divided by two, which is the steering and the rowing. In RMF, it will help determine the purpose of the technology, of the strategies, and it properties functions physically to serve the organizations. The core strategy is the goal of preventing any activities of crime that happen in Malaysia, while the rowing many important value that needs to be cared for as an operation organizations. This consists of 4 out of 5 strategies, or better known as the 5 C's. The consequences strategy is the performance award, which provide police and non-financial recognitions for the achievement, allowance, and for performance budgeting. Besides that, for control, they give police officers higher in rank the power to manage, meanwhile the frontliner police the power to improve results by completing their tasks at hand while still following the command of their subordinates.
Hi, my name is FATIHAH and I'm going to explain on the next part of this video presentation, which is the challenges of the program. In the implementation of a planned program, it will certainly face any unforeseen circumstances, which in turn becomes obstacles and challenges in the implementation of a program. In connection with this statement, the Cantas program is no exception. One of the challenges can be echoed as when the crimes becomes more challenging and difficult. Despite the fact that police institutions are directly accountable for combating crime, they continue to face unforeseen dangers as crime grows in its scopes and its severity. According to the 2020 Annual Crime and Security Report that was published by the Foreign Security Advisory Council under the United States Diplomatic Security Bureau, Malaysia capital, which is the Kuala Lumpur, has been identified as the highest threat location for criminal offences. This making the RMP to initiate Ops Cantas scheme in order to combat this crime issue. Next, other challenge that this program faces is the process of information exchange is still low. In effort to fighting these criminal acts, particularly those who involve in organized crime, the public almost certainly be reluctant to help authorities. Even if they have information about the offender or particular incident, those who witnesses will prefer to remain silent out of fear of jeopardizing their own or family safety, especially for those who live in the non-urban area. Furthermore, some people choose not to share information because they are afraid of the police institution itself. This is due to the fact that the public itself has a negative impression on the police force and considers that the authority is to be untrustworthy. This exists because there are speculations that the identity of the informant will be discovered when they share information to the police, as the data or information will be easily spread and leaked. So, what can we do to overcome those said challenges? One of the solutions can be the RMP needed to be more transparent and more honest with the public records. Authorities such as the court institution may move toward a stand where all the information, regardless of sources, is a public record, particularly in cases involving the RMP itself. As a basis, if device contain information that could be important to the investigation, they may be seized. For instance, the idea of body-worn cameras to the police during the working may be introduced, and it can become a huge difference during task completion, as well as the associated public disclosure obligation. Additional information on field activities is likely to increase in the future as a result of this strategy method. Moreover, police chiefs or leaders, they must be observant and constantly have plans in place to promote transparency and accessibility to evidence, as well as regulation and processes to support this method of strategy. Other than that, governments also hold a larger authority in aiding the RMP organization. They can help RMP by playing their role key in governing the country by introducing new policy standing and laws. This policy can be used as a crime prevention feature in government in the country, where it can help in setting up a clear priority and objective that needed to be achieved by all stakeholders of this nation, which involves many parties. When the government takes a proactive role in tackling this problem, other government agencies will soon jump on the board. To solve this problem, government could enact a legislation similar to the Official Secret Acts or Justice in Policing Act by discussing this issue in the Parliament. As a result, both the law and RMP can serve as a check and balance between the government, the community and the police, and ensuring transparency and national security, where this strategy capacity to maintain transparency in how information is handled as well as protects the complainants.
In conclusion, crime will decrease with the cooperation of the authority, Royal Malaysia Police, RMP, association, external agencies and the public. Implementation of Cantas have indicated the achievement in decreasing the crime rate in Malaysia. Cantas provide many advantages to the public than their disadvantage. Eradication of crime also can boost economies by decreasing the number of criminals, which people can have security to do in their daily life. Apart from that, Cantas also offer job opportunity to the people that interested in armed force. RMP recruit more people to participate in Special Task Force on Organised Crime, stand for Special Task Force for Anti-Vice Gambling and Gangsterism (STAGG), and Strike Team Investigate Narcotic Group (SYNG). They also can recruiting to make the nation prepare for any serious incident or international criminal occur in Malaysia. Besides, this also can decrease the criminal in Malaysia and also can make the Malaysia live in peace and harmonies.